Hello, thank you for clicking to watch this presentation, the Application Masterclass for the Master of Accounting. So this presentation will give a brief overview of the program, but more importantly, the application, what the application includes, and some little tips on how to best construct your application and make it as competitive as possible in the application process. My name is Andrew. I am an assistant director of graduate admissions here at the Lundquist College of Business, and I directly support the Master of Accounting program. And my contact information is right there should you have any follow-on questions about the program or the application itself. An agenda of this presentation, a quick snapshot of the program, the curriculum, how to apply, some tips on creating a competitive application, tuition of the program, and application deadlines. Program snapshot of the MAcc. So it is a 10-month program. It is CPA recognized curriculum. It is STEM certified. Should we have any international students applying, graduation from the program allots you 36 months of OPT time post-graduation. We offer 3 start terms: fall, winter, or spring. It is full-time, in person. That's important to note. We do not offer any sort of virtual, online, hybrid learning. So everything is full-time, in person here in Eugene, and no experience required to apply for or attend the program. Within the program are 3 specializations within accounting: tax, audit and financial reporting, or data analytics. The application process. So the first step in applying for the Master of Accounting program is to create an account with the Division of Graduate Studies. You can see their website right there. So you'll go to that website and establish your username, password. You'll select your degree level, master's, and the program you're seeking. You'll choose accounting, and that will take you to the Master of Accounting application. You'll complete all the application sections, upload all the appropriate documents, pay your appropriate application fee, which will be either $70 if you're a domestic student or $90 if you are not a domestic student. And once your application is reviewed, that you've met the minimum qualifications and that your application is complete, you'll be invited to take part in a 30-minute interview, which is the final step of the application process. Creating a competitive application. So within the application, you'll provide these materials: your resume, your transcripts, a statement of purpose, possibly GMAT test scores. We'll speak about that later. Possibly English proficiency tests, and again, the interview if invited. A little more detail about the resume. So within your resume, as you're constructing your bullets, please try to utilize the WHO method, WHO. So within your bullets, tell us what you did. So WHO, W stands for what did you do? H is how did you do it? And O is the outcome. What was the outcomes? So that is WHO. Include all relevant experience. So any previous or current jobs you've had. Again, work experience is not a requirement for the program, but anything you have to date, any internships that you've had. Also, if you've already been identified for an upcoming internship that you haven't started yet, please include that on your resume. Any sort of volunteer work, organizations you're a part of, just tell us the whole story of yourself. When referencing dates, please utilize month, year format. Expected graduation date if you are still pursuing your undergraduate degree. Upload in PDF is strongly preferred. And then also utilize our More Career Services resume guide should you need any assistance in constructing your resume. And this QR code here will take you to More Career Services for any assistance you need with your resume. And on the left side here, you can see an example resume, should you not have one already, that you can utilize as something to format your resume after. Transcripts. So to apply to the program, all we need are unofficial transcripts from your undergraduate studies. Official transcripts, should you be offered admission to the program and choose to accept your offer of admission, later down the line, you'll provide official transcripts to the University of Oregon. But to apply for and be accepted to the program, all we need are unofficial transcripts. And if you currently are or were a student at the University of Oregon, it's very simple. Log into DuckWeb, download them, then upload them into your Mac application. Statement of purpose. The statement of purpose is a short essay, 500 to 750 words. Don't pay much attention to the word count, though. As long as you're 1 to 2 pages, then you've met the intent of the essay. But just speak about the prompts that you see here. How is your background, your internships, your work experience, your undergraduate studies? How has that prepared you for a graduate level accounting program? What do you believe will be your greatest contribution to the Master of Accounting cohort? And then what are your am ambitions, your goals after completing the Master of Accounting program? And how does obtaining the Master of Accounting degree, how does that align with you getting to where you want to get to achieve those goals? GMAT test scores. So these are not a requirement for the application. We are test optional. So general rule of thumb is that if your GPA is lower than 3.25, you should consider submitting GMAT test scores with your application just to show your quantitative abilities. That said, ultimately the decision is on the individual as far as whether or not to submit GMAT test scores. And those scores, should you submit them, must have been within the last 5 years. And one thing to note, should you be submitting test scores, the Master of Accounting program is GMAT only scores. GRE scores do not work for the program. So GMAT only. And again, scores are not a requirement to submit your application. English proficiency. So should you be obtaining your undergraduate degree outside of the United States, and it's not a country such as Australia, Canada, New Zealand, United Kingdom, and English is not the official language of where you are obtaining your degree, you must submit English proficiency scores. So you can see the score requirements here. So whether it's the TOEFL, the IELTS, or the Duolingo English test. So if you took the old version of the TOEFL and you still have those scores on hand, 96 is the minimum. If you're taking the new version of the TOEFL, 5.0 is the minimum score. IELTS 7.0 and Duolingo a score of 130 to meet the minimum English proficiency requirements. Application fee. So one thing to note is that the Master of Accounting does not offer application fees. So everyone applying must pay their appropriate application fee. That said, should you have been a member of the United States military or you're applying and you're a member of the Accounting 3+1 Scholar Program here at the University of Oregon, please reach out to us prior to paying the application fee because you will not be required to pay one. So please reach out to a representative here in the admissions office when you get to that point in your application, and we will guide you through that. But application fee for everyone, if you're a domestic student applying, it is $70. And if you are not a domestic student, it is $90. So once you submit your application, this is the screen you'll see to pay the application fee. So one thing to note, um, the admissions committee, admissions staff does not receive your application for admission until the application fee is paid. So until this is paid on your end, your application will not be reviewed to ensure that it is complete, that you meet the minimum qualifications, and possibly invite you to the interview. The interview, which is the final step of the application process. It's 30 minutes. Um, Come into it dressed professionally, whether you're attending the interview in person or virtually. Just be able to speak to why the Master of Accounting program? How does it align to the goals and ambitions that you have for yourself professionally within the field of accounting? What are your career goals? And then answer questions with the STAR method. So STAR is similar to the WHO method that we spoke about for constructing your resume. So STAR stands for what was the situation? What were you tasked with? What was your activity? And then ultimately, what was the result? Tuition and funding. So current tuition for an Oregon resident is a little over $22,000. For a non-Oregon resident, a little over $30,000. And then you can see some additional fees required of all graduate students at the University of Oregon. For funding, the School of Accounting has their own scholarship dollars that they award to incoming students. So these are a separate application from your application of admission. So once you apply to the program, you complete the interview. Should you be offered admission to the program, at that time, you are then able to apply for scholarships from the School of Accounting. When you receive feedback on any sort of financial assistance that may be coming your way via a scholarship from the School of Accounting, at that point, you're able to make a determination on whether or not you will accept your offer of admission. And these are the associated deadlines for the application cycle. One date to be aware of is September 1st. That is the date that the application opens. So September 1st is the earliest that you can begin working on your application for admission. Our early decision deadline is October 15th, and then you can see the following deadlines throughout the year to the final deadline of July 23rd. For anybody that may be on pace to graduate early or you're looking to start ahead of fall 2027, and maybe you want to start winter of 27 or spring of 27, October 15th is your deadline to apply for winter or spring 27 admission. So your window to apply is September 1st through October 15th. If you're looking to apply for fall 2027, then every date you see here applies to you. Thank you again for watching this presentation on the application for the Master of Accounting program. You saw my contact information at the beginning of the presentation. Please reach out to me should you have any questions or a member of our admissions team. You can see our general contact information below here. Again, thank you for your time. We look forward to meeting you, working with you, and hopefully welcoming you as a member of the next cohort. Thanks.